good combo to start the game.
I mean, we talked about this a lot over at the hub, and yeah, the Terrorblade and Vengeful Spirit. This might be exactly what they need. I think you're right. They've been playing their own game, or at least that's kind of how it felt in the last game. They kind of have to play together as a squad and get things going. And nothing is better at that than I think Terrorblade, which can take objectives so very quickly and can find kills if you're playing as a squad instead of just pushing and farming across the map. So Terrorblade obviously has that inherent advantage of being one of the most picked heroes of this current meta of this patch right now. Terrorblade is up there, but they will find the Elder Titan for Digital Cast to try to counteract the Terrorblade with Stomp. His Natural Order bringing down some of his extremely tanky armor. All of his armor.
All of his armor.
All of his armor.
Gone.
Later
gone
into the game. Yes. True.
Elder Titan's so good against TB, and you can stomp all the illusions and stuff. Just stop him from attacking until you can deal with him. So great follow up here.
It's definitely a good choice. For Digital Cast, though, what I'm really the most interested in about their lineup is we know Soxy can play a good Elder Titan. We know Beastmaster is good for them, for Mu or for Mitsuru, whoever plays it. But who is going to be playing what for what cores exactly for Digital Cast? That's the most important thing to me. And some interesting bands that actually Voidboys have seen firsthand how good they can be in the hands of Digital Cast. The first being the Resolution Lone Druid, and the second being the Weehaw Death Prophet. Already in 2 games, those 2 heroes have successfully done a very good job against Voidboys. So they'll take both of those heroes out of the pool, and DC will, in kind, actually take out the Tidehunter, which was played earlier today by Mu, I believe. And then one more on the DC side as well.
DC is going to be scared of heroes that are strong at the 15-minute mark or so that will help Terrorblade in a way. If you can cover him, if you can take some focus fire, if you can give him setup, things like that, that's really where you see the value. So that's what they're worried about. Slardar Tide makes a lot of sense.
I'll take both of those out. So a lot of that team fight is gone. Pat Soul playing Slardar last game. Had a couple of good crushes with the help of Staking's Vacuum, but unfortunately was not able to find anything further than that. And it's a very tough game, I think, in that situation for Pat Soul. They'll go for the Oracle again, this time not in the first phase. You expressed a bit of dismay at this hero pick in the last game, and why don't you touch on that a bit more, Kevin? What exactly is not great about Oracle for you?
Just no stuns, basically, is a lot of it. Doesn't have stuns, can be countered by common offlane heroes like Void, for example. If you're against a hero like Slark, you can't guarantee that he doesn't get to do stuff, you know? Like, the Oracle ult can be really good with Terrorblade. It's good in that case, especially against a Beastmaster. You know, you can basically counteract what Beastmaster does, but there's just a lot of vulnerabilities, and they're going to have disable problems now. They grab Invoker, which I think is a good solution. Gives them damage, Meteor, space creation potential. This also makes Oracle a lot better too, because now you can just fully channel your first skill and you guarantee a Sunstrike, assuming he doesn't summon a boar or have another creep nearby. But I think it's a good solution. Silencer is a bit of a weird pick though.
I like Silencer for one reason, and that's when you're about to get False Promise or when you're about to get a Sunder off, and you just immediately stop that from happening by pressing your R button. Obviously, not the only reason the Silencer is picked. I'm sure they have other reasons to go for this hero, but that's one of the reasons why I'm interested in this hero's pick.
Yeah, I mean, it facilitates ganking, basically. You use it as your allies set up a gank, whether it's Slark shadowblading in on somebody or Beastmaster doing a roar combo. It stops Oracle ulti. In the early game, at least, they can kill Invoker, they can kill TB. If they have enough damage, kill them in those 3 to 5 seconds, they've got him. And that's why this is a pretty cool pick here. I thought Silencer would be better than he is when the first patch came out as well, and happy to see some team using him. I assume it's going to be a support, but I'm not 100% sure about that, so we'll see how he gets played.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know where this Silencer is going right now. In fact, we don't know how this is going to be laid up for the Beastmaster yet, whether he's going to be support or more than likely in the offlane. I'd imagine that, I don't know. Resolution Silencer sounds interesting, has a good ring to it. Weehaw Silencer has a good ring to it. We honestly have no idea. We don't know yet, and I'm excited to see how this hero's played up. Even as a support, I think this hero is still very good. I wish this hero got played more, honestly, in my opinion.
If I had to guess, I would expect it to go mid, but I think it'd be fine as a support as well, honestly. The Arcane Curse is pretty good right now. You can apply a lot of slow towards your opponents over the course of a team fight, especially if it's like Oracle who wants to cast a lot of spells. Zeus, interesting pickup. That'll definitely be their mid then. Be pretty surprised if it was Zeus support. But another good combo as well. Lots of magic damage. Synergized with Elder Titan. They've got physical and magic on Slark. Voidboys is probably going to want something like a pipe, and now Oracle looks a bit better as well because he can make somebody magic immune. But DC basically going with a new lineup. This is not something I don't think they would do unless they were up 2-0.
Oh, or against Voidboys either, I think. If they were against maybe a squad like Complexity, I think they would just stick with what's winning for them. But they're 2-0 against Voidboys in Canada Cup Grand Finals. And because they have this advantage, I think they're willing to experiment even further with the rosters they've got going on. They'll pick up the Zeus for themselves. And the last pick coming up from Voidboys, and it looks like it will need to be that offlane hero.
Faceless Void?
Yeah, Void is available. It's one of the few that is.
I don't know if I like it, though. They need something that gives them some help with Slark. So some disable would be good. Void could work, but they don't have that much other disable, and it would be leave them very cooldown reliant. It also is like kind of countered by Elder Titan, Silencer.
I'm just gonna start. I'm gonna start throwing out hero names. Axe. Yeah,
it's okay. Sort of okay.
I'm trying to think of anything else, and nothing's coming to mind.
Yeah, something that does disable setups would be good. Something it has to be disable setups basically. Axe is not a terrible idea.
I can't really think of anything else.
Slaughter's
Spirit Breaker.
Nyx would have been really good.
Yeah, Nyx. Yeah,
by DC.
Yeah, I'm surprised they banned it out, but it works very well. Voidboys are like, man, we really wanted that Nyx assassin. I guess Void is the only other thing I could think of besides that and the Axe, and maybe a Doom, but that's not really that's not a disable. It's just you Doom somebody.
Not a setup.
Night Stalker, perhaps, although that's been played in the offlane not very much recently.
Nah, I don't think Night Stalker would be good at all.
You know what I saw? Bo5 played a Legion offlane today, which was kind of cool, but it's not really.
Yeah, not looking like a Legion game either. No, it's okay, kind of.
I'm just throwing, like I said, I'm throwing out hero names. And Voidboys, they go for the clockwork.
Okay, I like that. That's a great idea. Gives them basically Sunstrike setup with cogs. Gives them some damage. Gives them the ability to mess around with Slark. Basically, they can power cogs him. They can block in allies. I think it's a good choice. I like it as a solution. It's going to have a little bit of trouble because of Beastmaster summons, but other than that, I think this is a great pick. We'll see how it works out. I know Clock's been played a little bit here and there, but isn't quite seen as the top tier.
Yeah, he's not what he used to be as that offlane hero. I mean, he used to be one of the king of offlaners. He certainly was up there for a long period of time, but in this current metagame of Dota, Clockwork is not the tried and true hero he once was, sadly. It's just the way things go. But if you have to look at the draft right now and pick a favorite here, Kevin, who would it be as we get into this game?
I have a lot more faith in DC's lineup just because they have tons of gank potential. With Zeus and Silencer, basically their goal is just to get a Shadow Blade on Slark or Necro on Beastmaster. Those heroes will initiate with a fight. They'll have Zeus ult and Global Silence on top of that. And I'm sure Elder Titan will be there. So I feel like they're going to have way more gank opportunities. Voidboys is pretty reliant on either Clockwork or maybe Venge and Oracle setting up kills. So I think it's easier for DC to set up kills. Their lanes are a bit weaker and they will be pushed early, but DC can stop that, I think, with Wild Axes, Echo Stomps, and Curse things.
I think late game, Patzel is going to have to run into the brick wall that is natural order, which is not going to feel good. Even if Patzel gets off to a fast start, and that is the one thing I am concerned about for DC, is if Patzel does have a good start, he starts snowballing out of control, as Terrorblade can do with, of course, Metamorphosis.
But they have solutions to it. You know, they've got Roar, they have Global Silence, they have Echo Stomp, they have just general nuke damage. I think Zeus is pretty okay against TB just because he does a percentage of total HP, and since illusions have a lot of HP but take lots of damage, they're countered by that. So Arc Lightning, Lightning Bolts, stuff like that. It's going to get Terrorblade pretty low relatively fast.
Yeah. It also doesn't help that Terrorblade is really an armor-based hero. Ooh, Snake King. Oh, played. No bounty rune for you. Nice stuff, Snake King. Hashtag the king on the Clockwork, getting the bounty rune. I like it.
That was pretty big. Nicely done by him.
Yeah. And it is the Moo Iron Talon jungling hero. But this time it's the Clockwork that does pick up the Iron Talon. So last game we saw Moon didn't get the Iron Talon. This game he will. Now it's Snake King not getting the Iron Talon for his team. Instead he'll just
I mean, Clockwork definitely shouldn't ever go jungle, AFK jungle. I don't think that's the right move. He was
someday,
just
maybe.
Good at putting pressure on. Like, he can definitely get solo kills. So once he gets, like, Battery Salt, for example, he can threaten Misery.
Yeah, Misery will have to be a little careful with how things transition into that early stage of the game. It looks like Clairvoyance will also be heading bottom. He'll drop down a ward, try to get some vision up on Moo. He'll drop down the ward here close to this medium camp so that he has vision of the rotation from Moo onto that camp. But for now, it is going to be that tri-lane down bottom with Sox and Misery helping out Resolution, who has picked up a couple of good CS here to start things off. Clockwork's going to try to prevent the creeps from getting there as quickly, but for now, it's just going to be jungling Beastmaster and We're gonna look at the matchup mid and see how that's going. Kind of. That's gonna be.
This is looking really good for DC right now. They're doing a really good job doing stacks and stuff like that, just to try to limit Clockwork's experience gain, and they're doing a great job with that.
High Noon will take the creep wave back, which is kind of unfortunate. That does leave Staking out to dry here, and he's gonna get the last word up as well as the arcane curse is not even needed. His resolution finds the pounds, they get the first blood for Misery, so Staking does already fall. And Clear's like, I have the creep wave for you. You died. You can have it now, but I got it for you. So.
Yeah, pretty straightforward kill. Silencer's damage output is actually really good right now. Last word does 150 damage with 1 skill point, and then as he maxes out Arcane Curse or maybe a little bit more Glades of Wisdom, it's just hard for Clock to stay alive. He's been doing his best to get experience, but he hasn't gotten any yet.
I mean, him being involved in that kill already gets him up to 2 stolen intelligence from the Glades of Wisdom, which is huge. Which gives him even more damage.
Yep, and more mana pool and all that good stuff, so very good for Silencer to get a couple kills. In this case, it might have been better for them to have just an AFK jungler, but because it was Clock, that's what they focused on. Soxa was spending a lot more time in the safe lane than he normally does, and now he's transitioned out because he knows that they're pretty set.
Soxa will go ahead and stomp on Omega Poner, but there's the Metamorphosis, and this is a speedy Pat Soul Terrorblade with Boots of Speed, but Soxa, still live even with the Purifying Flames coming out. It's a bit of annoying damage, but Metamorphosis. Sunstrike, meanwhile, Moo in trouble, 4 HP, and the Borslow is there to keep him alive. Oh my god. Moo's like, that is frightening. Oh, he actually avoided the flare too. And I think he has something on the Cur as well as his full Tranquil Boots, I believe, coming out now. It should be almost his full Tranquils. It's not.
The flare?
What
do you mean the flare?
The Rocket Flare.
Almost the Rocket Flare. I didn't see that.
Thinking. It flew right over him. It was going to the well.
Yeah, it was pretty close there. I mean, Avenge could have played it a little bit less greedy, possibly. He could have done like an attack, then stun, then Wave of Terror, then stun. But he went for the stun lead, which is a little bit lower damage. Just gives his opponent the chance to react, though. And he brought his boars in, basically, and reacted in time, so the Sunstrike did little. Could have gotten that kill, but it was kind of hard either way.
And he's getting Headdress instead of Tranquils to start things off, interestingly enough. Not that you want to get Tranquils usually. I think you just want that Headdress. If you're going to get casual regen, Headdress might be a better option for Moo in that jungle. So yeah, he doesn't have to deny himself, but he is still playing dangerously low in HP. He's done a good job microing his boar so that he's not really taking any of the damage. But
yeah, he can get away with this. It's not that hard.
I guess. It's just nice to watch. It's just cool to see. By the way, Staking's rotated up top, interestingly enough. He's out of the lane.
Yeah, he's kind of hoping to get a kill or do something somewhere, because right now he's just clearly being controlled. Venge in the off lane right now is getting some experience, I guess. But this puts Clockwork so far behind.
Oof, Resolution, if he was a bit faster, might have been able to find that pounce in the kill, but sadly he's not.
It's not going good for snaking, though.
No, it's
got to get some
really
levels,
bad.
And now that he's behind, he can't do lane pressure like Clock can sometimes do, so he's in a bad spot.
I mean, snaking being so far behind, whereas the Beastmaster is 23 CS is... What's level 5, so what's the Clock at? Level 2? That just kind of tells you how this lane's going. And meanwhile, Sox is getting pretty good experience top 2. He might actually get caught, though, as a make opponent's going to come in with the Fortune. And there is a ward that will scout him out. And Sox will see snaking. Time to staple gun your way through Fortune's End. I think he actually lives through this. Battery Assault, no, they need a Sunstreak. The Stomp will come through. The flare is up. Purifying Flames will bring him down. It was close. They finally get the job done, and Staking will get only up to level 3 momentarily, but they do find a kill at the very least.
Yeah, so he gets something done with his hero, which is really good. He's kind of playing a support right now, actually, which is kind of funny, but they can turn this into a push. A couple illusions here.
Rotating up, though, including Weehaw. Arc Lightning, pull the group right back, and keeps. Here's an Arcane Rune. Moo's about to go down. Staking with the Rocket Flare almost got the job done. Sunstrike, not on the mark. Moo avoids it. Now can walk back. Wave of Terror. Zeus Salt. They find a kill onto 2. Both the Clockwork as well as the Oracle fall underneath that tower. The Arc Lightning spam. They're about to find a third. Clairvoyance in trouble. Staple gun. Master will save his life for only a moment. The Lightning Bolt will come out. We will find a double kill. He should have found a triple kill, but actually I think he got the... Of course, the kill was taken away by the creep, so...
They basically played this perfectly. They know that Voidboys has a really early pushing advantage.
God, snaking, no. Might actually be able to leave. Live. Pounce is not up for another 10. He does have a salve. Ooh, good tangos.
Great choice. And that's what happens if you never go to lane. You have all these leftover tangos.
Uh-oh. Resolution actually is caught in a pretty bad spot. He'll be able to
Oh,
clean his way
Misery's
out.
gonna die, I think.
Misery should be dead. Resolution's like, I want to go back in. He's actually being
he's
so
gonna live.
aggressive. He has Shadow Dance. He doesn't have mana for it anymore. He has Treads to work with. Another Sunstrike off the mark. Misery will TP home. Resolution not needed to do so. And it's a crazy start for DC. They are doing really well.
I'm really not happy with Clock's skill build here. I think he needs one in Battery Assault. If he had Battery Assault, he definitely could have killed Silencer there. Like, at least for the disable alone. The damage is really good at level 1, actually.
Oh,
You
yeah.
can do like 400 magic damage or something with one skill point if you just follow somebody long enough. And they could have killed Silencer. But he's committed to this Rocket Flare thing. Like, yes, it helps with his lanes. Yes, they can maybe do these like combo kills a bit better. But, I mean, he's got to have some damage. He's not doing enough just yet. He's a little behind now.
Yeah. The one bright spot, well, maybe two bright spots, is Invoker and Terrorblade. If the Invoker had gotten a couple more Sunstrike kills, this would be even better. But Invoker's not really doing that well. I mean, you look at Weehaw, he's actually 400 net worth ahead of the Invoker before even having that Midas up for 747.
That's kills though. Like he got
Yeah,
so many
right.
good kills, and,
Right.
and that's why it was so smart that that they went top to stop Voidboys' push, because Voidboys gets easy advantage by just killing a tower with Terrorblade. But all they had to do was rotate up with Zeus. He has tons of damage output. They survive the kill and they stop the push, and that means that they've got to wait for Metamorphosis again to try that again. So it delays their tower advantage that could lead to a team advantage.
And Sox is getting levels while this is all happening. Meanwhile, Staking is flared from the jungle. Whether they know he's there or not remains to be seen. TP's coming in, Moo is helping out Weehaw, who was getting ganked by Clairvoyance, but the gank was unsuccessful. So the TP might not even necessary. Staking will walk out, and he's about to be found by Misery. He'll ping him. Oh, they just walked through each other. That was awkward, but there's the pounce up. Just connects Resolution. Tries for the TP, might make it away. No such luck, as Misery gets the kill with the last word and the Arcane, or the Glaives of Wisdom, rather.
That was a great pounce, and they get the kill. So tower pressure there, tower pressure, maybe that's about it, but for tower pressure at least. But levels definitely are way ahead for DC this game.
Experience-wise, they have a 2,000 advantage, and the Clockwork is a big part of that, not to mention the Vengeful Spirit. Zeus ult will go, putting some pressure on mid. They were looking for the kill on the Vengeful Spirit, but Purifying Flames keeps him alive. That was awkward. Weehaw's going to back up, lightning bolting, and just trying to make sure that nobody's chasing him down. And that bottom tier 1 tower does end up falling, by the way, so the Resolution just gets enough room to work with. Sunstrike, it does clip him, or is the flare actually that did the damage there? It wasn't the Sunstrike that was actually
That
hitting
was
him.
close.
Yeah,
He
it was
almost
very
died
close. It was very close.
there. Those kills are just really hard to get, though. You have to time it perfectly. And they're just moving a little too much for it to work.
By the way, there's level 6 on the Elder Titan now. This is pretty great. Misery's getting close to his 6 too.
Like, DC is just really efficient at getting experience in that early game, basically. This is where a lot of teams really fall behind when they play against top-tier teams, is that they react perfectly. They start off in the safe lane, guaranteeing that the safe lane was covered, that even if Clock messes up the creep equilibrium, he still stays low. And this forces Clock into a weird game. And in the meantime, as soon as that was secured, Soxka goes the off lane, creates space, essentially plays off lane for his team. Just looking really good.
You get a roar on a Mega Boner. That's probably a kill with Earth Splitter on top. He does not have False Promise, nor would he be able to get it off in time had he had it. And that's just a free kill. And now they've just pushed Patzel out of lane. And he does have 74 CS, and he's got close to a Dragonlance. But that's him out of lane now. He'll send one illusion to make this a little bit harder to take the tower. That's it, though. And now they probably just bring this down. Moo's on his way to his Necro. He's got his staff and his belt of strength. Meanwhile, they kill bottom again. Resolution getting some help from the Zeus ulti, but he does end up getting the last hit on his own. The pounce of Dark Pact. Zeus ult will help him provide the kill, and the tier 1 tower does fall top lane. So more efficiency going the way of DC, more kills, more farm, more everything.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Everything turning up DC, basically. And they haven't even used Global Silence yet. Like, this is just going to get harder for Voidboys.
Ooh. Weehaw was getting dove by 747. Unfortunately, no such luck to find the kill. It's a good effort. Soxa rotates in a bit too late, although he can still hit the stomp, and 747 has gotten hit. Soxa should know this. He's going to walk up, see that he's there, but here comes the rest of the rotation for Voidboys with both Clear and Omega Poner. However, on the backside, Resolution's coming in. And Wave of Terror will go over towards him, but he'll be able to get out, and he actually has enough for his Shadow Blade as soon as he gets up maybe one CS or just waits 25 seconds.
Yeah, this is one of the scariest things that DC does, is when they pick Slark for Resolution. He just gets a really fast Shadow Blade, doesn't bother on Midas, and then he starts setting up all this pressure. Like, up until this point, in 11 minutes in, everybody else on DC has been the one making space, but now Resolution gets to do it as well. So it adds this extra layer of pressure that Voidboys have to deal with.
This is Invoker dead, Lightning Bolt. good Ghost Walk, but that's not going to save him against the true sight that is an Invoker, or excuse me, that is a Zeus. So they find another, I wouldn't say free kill on the Invoker, but a relatively easy kill in that regard. So here's the one downside, by the way, is they just haven't killed Patsil yet. That's the one downside for DC in this game.
That's not that big of a threat, though. Terrorblade is a hero that gets momentum based on some hero kills and tower pushes. If he doesn't get hero kills or pushes, it's not good enough.
Elder Titan's Earth Splitter will keep him doing some damage. They even had the, of course, Global Silence Resolution found the Vengeful Spirit elsewhere. So ET did end up going down, but they traded it for the Vengeful Spirit across the map with the Global Silence. So Global Silence and Earth Splitter both used for kill. All right.
Yeah, DC's fine with this. It's just Voidboys getting farther and farther behind. Silencer's got decent levels now. He's got 6 picked up. Moose pressuring off lane. Nothing new here.
Misery has a freaking 4-staff, by the way, already.
Wow, that's really fast.
Actually,
2
no.
kills and assist.
No, that's Moo's 4-staff. Just kidding.
Okay, that makes
Misery.
That's a Necro, actually.
He's a Necro and a 4-staff recipe. That's so weird.
It's a Necro recipe.
I mean, am I like crazy? There is a 4-step recipe for somebody, but
It was
someone will
Zeus.
die.
Zeus just made it.
Okay, I thought it was Moose. I'm losing it. It's been a long day for me. I'm not gonna excuse myself though.
That's okay, I will.
Right. Well, thanks for that.
So Necro 1 for Mootop. He's continuously pressuring here. I like his Hawk positioning too, just watching for supports, and he can rotate over if needed. Oh, there's a sentry. He might get killed here.
Yeah, Resolution just goes right under Seiki. Stomp's gonna hit up. They have the boars coming in from Moo, just doing some work. Battery still's there, but it's already too late. Resolution will Dark Pact the creep wave. They even get off the Arcane Curse onto 3, almost 4. Another Astral will come out, and Global Silence still down for 40. Weehaw throws him with Lightning Bolt. Snaking. He's like, ow. Player's there. Hookshot, snaking. I don't know if you want to go for this. Zeus ult, he's so low. Force up. They get off the Fate Edict. Nicely done. Now the meta coming out. Weehaw in trouble. Actually gets his life away. The hookshot coming through avoids that Earth Splitter. The stomp is up. It will hit snaking. He's still healing from the Purifying Flames. Finally will get brought down by Sox and Misery together. Meanwhile, while this is happening, Moose is like, I'll just split push top. Resolution, you farm bottom. And that's it. So they do find at least Weehaw there.
Yeah, those huge plays. Nicely done by Omega Poner there. Stop the damage. I didn't necessarily expect Zeus to go for that with the 4-staff. It's a cool play, but big outplay by Omega Poner.
Ooh, they know Resolution is here. He just walked through a sentry. He's about to walk through another. Except Omega Poner is going to be able to get off the false promise. The Sunder, and he's got no mana to Shadow Dance. The Sun Strike, boom! What a kill for 747.
He lives with 15 HP? That's insane.
He's so lucky.
One more hit and he would have gotten him, but really fast Sunder usage there by Terrorblade, but they saw it coming and they get a couple really big kills there.
Yeah, that's 2 kills that probably shouldn't have happened. I think DC are like, okay, we need to tighten it up now. We have a 7,500 net worth advantage. It's not really going down after those kills. We're not losing anything too much, but still need to be careful with how we progress in this mid game, as Seiki is getting roared. And probably dead to Arcane. Although they do have a magic missile, they'd smoked up and hookshot away from Sticky to keep himself alive. But that's on cooldown now.
A little ideal there.
Oh, 747. They might get with 747 instead. Stomps up, Sunstrike, Sox avoids it. Lightning Bolt, he's dead. Zeus ult even comes out. Meanwhile, back at base, Staking was about 50 HP from death. Luckily, he was able to survive somehow through the Zeus ult damage.
They're just being pressured everywhere, though. Like, they thought that they could collapse on jungle, but everybody else was busy. Suzy ends up trying to fight 3 heroes by himself. That's not going to work, especially when they have a 4-staff. So they're kind of just falling apart.
I think that's where you get a bit concerned when Suzy just walks into the jungle on his own.
Well, he did have an illusion rune as well, so it wasn't really by himself.
XD. High Nude Clairvoyance. Stomp. Good try on the TP. Const's up. Shadow Dance is there to keep him regen. It is level 2 Shadow Dance, who regens quite quickly. And he's already behind the tower and already up to full HP. And he's fine.
Yes, this is the pressure, man. It's so hard for Voidboys to stop it. They still don't even have 6 on Venge. He's under-leveled again.
Oh my god, really? Wow. You're not joking.
Yep.
Boom, there it goes.
That's rough. They might actually fight, though, without Moo. And Misery's found himself in a bad spot. But there's the Global coming out. The stomp at his Snaking. Battery Assault was there in time. He did cancel it. The False Promise will come through, and Resolution try to find this engagement. He's going to actually kill Snaking. Almost certainly. The hookshot will come in at the tail end. Oh, he actually lived through that False Promise? That's insane. Resolution did so much work with his right clicks, but coming through, they take down 2, including Resolution. They're going to find a 3rd as Sox's TP is canceled with the Magic Missile. Moo, again, not there, still split pushing top, but now they don't lose just 1 in that engagement purge. They lose all 3 there.
Yeah, that was a great fight now for Voidboys. I'm surprised it went that well considering how it started, but the canceled Echo Stomp actually really messed things up because it would have guaranteed the clock kill a lot earlier. At least it would have guaranteed the ult, so he whiffed ult. Took longer to kill clock, then Slark's more out of position and guarantee the kill. Slark dies.
Misery.
It hurts, man.
Misery had just dodged 747, and yeah, and Venge walks up with an Invis rune and just hits him with a Magic Missile to kill him.
I like his skill build on Venge. I think not enough players are willing to do max Magic Missile, but the burst damage sometimes is really useful. He's probably dead now, though.
Oh yeah, Necro 3, he's almost certainly dead. See you later. That bracer made it a little bit harder to bring him down, but not enough.
Moo's so good at like controlling enemy jungles. Like I feel like that's one of his best things that he does as a Beastmaster that I constantly see in like solo pushing tier 2s, farming the jungle. If anybody enters the jungle, he sets it up or sees it coming and he gets the kills.
He's very good.
Playing very well.
Protecting the last outer tower will take a fall as down bottom Resolution will look to put pressure on the last outer tower. His Echo Saber completed, now working on a BKBI match in 4, said Resolution Slark. Yeah, they could certainly use that. DCR. Again, despite losing that fight, 3 for 1, I guess you could call it, they're still 8,000 up. And, yeah.
They kind of stopped the bleeding, though. Like, yeah, they're still losing the game, but the last couple fights they took is basically evening things out a bit, like a slight amount. If you look at the last hits, it's kind of amazing they're even still in this game, but yeah, it's actually amazing. The last hits just look so one-sided.
Taking with 20 CS might be one of the most insane things I've ever seen. His net worth is a support. He has brown boots and barely a blade mail. Not even, he doesn't even have it. He's still 600 away.
Yep, and they just owned him all.
Global silence, Omega Proner won't be able to get off the false promise this time. Staking just walks up casually as he sees his teammate die in front of his eyes. And,
the problem for DC now, though, is that unlike the last game, they can't really just take buildings after they get kills like they could. So this game could be pretty elongated as long as Voidboys doesn't lose a fight too badly. As long as it's only like 1 hero per global silence kind of a thing, they can still defend and delay this game. And maybe at some point win it. I'm not super confident in that, considering the fact that DC is supremely out farming them, but you know, it gives them some hope.
It is not a good sign for Voidboys that they are down this far in the game, but I agree. Like, they have the potential to win the game later on down the road for exactly the reasons you've already mentioned. And with the not being able to push is a big deal, and it's not like they're going to be getting an AC or anything to help that push anytime soon. They do have an Necro 3, but that's really all they have in this regard to pushing.
Yeah, BKB is the next goal for Terrorblade here. He's going to forego Manta, I guess. It's not the worst thing ever. Venge might die now, though.
Yeah, pounce swap. Sees a lot of Purifying Flames, but there's the Zeus ult, which then gets the double kill for Weehaw. So just like that, they bring down both supports, and double damage room for Resolution as well. Moo's going to bots in and drop his Necros down. Moo now has bots, by the way. And they'll look to get the tier 3 tower. I don't know if they'll get it this time around, but they'll do a lot of damage to tier 3. And actually, no glyph used. They might even get racks. We'll see if they can get ranged out of this, or maybe even more. Yep. No glyph. Finally gets used for the melee racks. But they had no way of defending this. Hookshot will go. Nicely out of 2. Sunstrike will be split up, but Snaking will then give his life. Resolution does get the Shadow Blade off. Moo's still taking Metamorphosis damage. Air Splitter brings down 747. Now High Noon TP'd in looking for the Magic Missile. He's got to swap back as well. Moo might be in trouble here. Looks like he will fall. It is a 1-for-2 trade so far. Still, melee Rex still standing at the backside of the engagement. DC's going to back up together. They might look to re-engage. They have the stomp up. They're going to lose the Vengeful Spirit, who dies instantly to the right click coming up from Misery, and Resolution's Dark Pact and Lightning Bolt from Weehaw. Now Omega Proner is next. Fate's Edict will not save him, and GG is called. And just like that, Voidboys, they tap out. They give the Grand Finals to Digital Chaos. DC are your Dota 2 Canada Cup Season 7 winners, taking home 12K. Congratulations to them. Well played. Great.
Okay guys, please no exit to the stream. You're looking for the U monitor for the roll to for Leshrac Immortal. Okay guys? You looking for the info for Leshrac Immortal?